Today, our topic is how to deal with change the Stoic way. Change is a constant in life. Nothing stays the same forever. People come and go, jobs change, relationships evolve, and even our own bodies and minds grow older. Change can be exciting, but it can also be scary. Sometimes it feels like we have no control over what happens to us. This is where Stoicism can help. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to stay calm and strong no matter what life throws at us. The Stoics believe that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This idea is powerful because it gives us a sense of freedom, even in difficult situations. The first step in dealing with change the Stoic way is to accept that change is a natural part of life. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. For example, we cannot control the weather, but we can control whether we carry an umbrella. We cannot control other people's actions, but we can control how we react to them. When we focus on what we can control, we feel more empowered. When we waste energy on things we cannot control, we feel frustrated and helpless. So the first lesson is to accept what you cannot change and focus on what you can. Another important Stoic principle is to practice gratitude. Change often brings loss, and loss can be painful. But the Stoics remind us that nothing is truly ours forever. Everything we have, including our own lives, is temporary. This might sound sad, but it can also be liberating. When we realize that nothing lasts forever, we learn to appreciate what we have right now. Instead of focusing on what we have lost, we can be grateful for what we still have. Gratitude shifts our perspective. It helps us see the good in our lives even when things are hard. For example, if you lose your job, it can feel like the end of the world. But if you focus on the skills you have, the people who support you, and the opportunities that might come your way, you can find hope even in a difficult situation. Gratitude does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means finding the good, no matter how small, and holding on to it. The Stoics also teach us to prepare for change. They believe that by imagining the worst-case scenario, we can reduce our fear of it. This practice is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It might sound negative, but it is actually a way to build resilience. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, imagine what you would do if it happened. Would you update your resume? Would you reach out to your network? Would you look for new opportunities? By thinking through these steps, you are not only preparing yourself for the worst, but also realizing that you have the strength to handle it. This exercise helps us see that even in the face of change, we have options. We are not powerless. Another Stoic tool for dealing with change is to focus on the present moment. The Stoics believe that worrying about the future or regretting the past only causes unnecessary suffering. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only moment we truly have is the present. By focusing on what we can do right now, we can take action instead of feeling stuck. For example, if you are facing a big change like moving to a new city, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. You might worry about finding a new job, making new friends, or adjusting to a new environment. But if you focus on the present, you can break the problem into smaller steps. Today you can research the new city. Tomorrow you can start packing. By taking it one step at a time, you can make the change feel more manageable. The Stoics also remind us that change is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge we face is a chance to learn something new or to become stronger. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that even in difficult situations, we have the power to choose our response. We can see change as a threat, or we can see it as an opportunity. For example, if you lose a relationship, it can feel like a failure. but it can also be a chance to learn more about yourself, to grow as a person, and to build new connections. Change forces us to adapt, and adaptation is a form of growth. One of the most important Stoic practices is to develop an inner sense of peace. The Stoics called this ataraxia, which means a state of calm and tranquility. Ataraxia does not mean avoiding emotions or pretending that everything is fine. It means finding a sense of balance, even in the midst of chaos. To achieve this, the Stoics practiced self-discipline. They trained their minds to stay focused and to avoid being carried away by strong emotions. For example, if you receive bad news, it is natural to feel upset. But instead of letting that feeling take over, you can take a step back and remind yourself that you have the power to choose how you respond. You can take deep breaths, remind yourself of your values, and focus on what you can do next. This does not mean ignoring your emotions, but it does mean not letting them control you. The Stoics also believed in the importance of community. Change can be easier to handle when we have support from others. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This means that we are all connected, and our well-being depends on the well-being of those around us. When we face change, it can help to talk to friends, family, or mentors. They can offer advice, encouragement, or simply a listening ear. Sometimes, just knowing that we are not alone can make a big difference. Finally, the Stoics teach us to embrace impermanence. Everything in life is temporary, including our own lives. This might sound scary, but it can also be a source of freedom. When we accept that nothing lasts forever, we can let go of our attachment to things, people, and situations. This does not mean we stop caring or stop trying. It means we learn to appreciate what we have while we have it without clinging to it. For example, if you are in a job that you love, enjoy it while it lasts, but also be prepared for the possibility that it might change. By embracing impermanence, we can face change with less fear and more courage. In conclusion, dealing with change the Stoic way is about acceptance, gratitude, preparation, focus, growth, inner peace, community, and impermanence. Change is inevitable, but how we respond to it is up to us. The Stoics remind us that we have the power to choose our attitude, even in difficult situations. By practicing these principles, we can face change with strength and resilience. We can learn to see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth. We can find peace in the present moment, even when the future is uncertain. And we can build a life that is not defined by what happens to us, but by how we choose to respond. So, the next time you face a big change, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Accept what you cannot control, focus on what you can, and trust in your ability to adapt. Change is not the enemy. It is simply a part of life, and with the right mindset, you can handle it with grace and strength.